You cannot lose fat without being in a calorie deficit. Every single diet you've ever tried that worked because you were in a calorie deficit. If you stopped losing fat, it was because you were no longer in a calorie deficit. Let that sink in. In this video, I'm going to explain what a calorie deficit is and how to calculate a calorie deficit so that you can take control of your own weight loss journey and go from this to this, if that's what you want. So if that sounds interesting to you, keep watching, hit the like button and subscribe. So let's start with the very basic. What is a calorie? Well, a calorie is a unit of measurement for describing the amount of energy in our food. We use units of measurements all the time. Some familiar ones are grams, ounces, gallons, litres. We use these and are very familiar with them in our day-to-day lives. But for some reason, when it comes to calories, they give us a brain freeze. It may make it easier if we think of calories as energy. We know that our bodies need energy for everything that we do, and the food that we eat is where we get the energy from, most of the time. However, if there's not enough energy coming in through our food, our bodies don't just stop working. They have some stored energy that they can use. And that's our fat. In simple terms, fat is just the energy we've eaten but not used at the time. If we want our bodies to take this fat out of storage and use it, then we've got to give our bodies a reason to go and get it. And that reason is a calorie deficit, an energy deficit, so to speak. It happens when our body receives less energy through food than it needs to do what it needs to do. So no matter what you eat, if the energy that comes into your body is not less than the energy that goes out, you won't be able to lose fat because your body won't be triggered to go and get the fat out of storage. Let's be clear, this does not mean that you should eat as little as possible to lose as much fat as possible. Your body is much too clever for that. It wants to keep you alive. So unless you want your body to do everything it possibly can to make you eat more and do less, which is how it will react if you suddenly drop your calories drastically, it's not a good idea to reduce your food intake to extreme levels. How about we learn to eat as much food as possible, but that still allows us to reach our fat loss goals? Also, some people find it hard to accept that getting 250 calories from chips is the same as getting 250 calories from something like broccoli, say. In terms of the energy that they provide to the body, they are the same. However, they don't provide the same amount of macros, vitamins or minerals, fullness levels, which we also call satiety, or health benefits. In future videos, we'll talk about food selection in relation to calorie density, satiety, health, and much more. But for now that we know what a calorie deficit is, let's learn how to calculate one. First, we need to know how much energy we use on a daily basis. The science guys call this the total daily energy expenditure, or TDEE. In simple terms, your TDEE is made up of the energy used for your basal metabolic rate, which is just your basic body functions such as your brain activity, your digestion, breathing, your circulation. Then you also need energy for the thermic effect of food, which is how much energy it takes for your body to digest food. Exercise activity thermogenesis, which is in your intentional exercise, like going to the gym or working out at home, running, swimming, hiking, etc. And then you also have non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is your general movement, like cleaning, cooking, even fidgeting while you're sitting down in a chair. Thankfully, we don't have to get a calculator and start trying to calculate each one of these for ourselves. The tech guys have created online calculators so we can just plug in our details. Now it's time for a disclaimer. Calories and calorie calculators are not an exact science. They provide us with estimates. But are they accurate enough to be a practical tool in helping you towards your fat loss goals? Well, many bodybuilders think so, but you'll have to decide for yourself. If you take a look at the screen, you can see I've provided one of the calorie calculators that I found that provides a really good tool for giving you a figure that you can use to make a start in calculating your calorie deficit and moving forward with your weight loss journey. So now you've worked out your calorie deficit, what do you do now? Well, if you're looking for ways to make staying in a calorie deficit easier, you could check out our video on calorie density. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you again.